Anywhere you go, give it all.
Hello, my name is Amelie if you're new here. If you're not, welcome back. And in today's video, we are sitting down and talking about all things balance, school, work, life, gym, having a social life. Literally like just talking all about it because I'm a freshman in college, and coming from high school there have definitely been significant changes in my sleep schedule, my workout routine, my friends, my social life, and I've had to adapt my routines and what I consider to be balance. And whether or not you're in college, even if you're in high school or you already graduated college, I think this video will be really helpful because we're just going to be talking about picking your priorities, doing it all, because I don't believe in restriction in any aspect of life, whether it comes to food, opportunities, social life, anything like that. I think you can totally do it all, and I think you can also reach your goals while doing it all. So that's what we're going to be talking about. So I think the way that I want to structure this video is kind of into 3 sections, talking about school and work, your fitness goals, and then also balancing a social life. So that's going to be like the 3 main chunks that I'm going to be talking about, and then obviously they all kind of relate to each other. So that's going to be how this video is structured, and let's just get straight into it. First, talking about school. As someone who chose to pursue further education and go to college, school gets my priority over everything, over fitness, over balancing my social life. School comes first because that's what I'm here for, that's what I'm paying for. For background information, I'm a business major, so I just want to say that I understand that I think my course load isn't maybe as intense as someone who's trying to go to med school or maybe like a neuroscience major, I don't know. But school comes first. So for example, in high school, my school started at 7:30. Now in college, I'm lucky enough, my classes don't start till 10 a.m., sometimes 11 a.m. So I just make sure that I never skip class. And if I do, it's like pre-planned in advance. I let my teachers know. I make sure I kind of looked over the lesson for the day and make sure that I understand all of the knowledge that was going to be taught in that class. Because again, I'm here for school. If you're going to high school, you're there for education. School has to come first. Going to class, not skipping class. If you're in college, it's amazing because you get to pick your schedule. So if you're not a morning person, don't sign up for 8 a.m.s. Then you don't have an excuse to skip. Like, it's not that hard. I'm sorry. Going into college, everyone was like, oh my god, it's so hard to go to class. I can't get myself to go to class. I keep skipping class. Guys, it's not that hard. Like, just show up. Even if you look rough, even if you're tired, just go to class. Like, it's not that hard. So that's the first thing, is like actually going to class. And then if you're in high school, just like not skipping school. Paying attention and taking notes is so helpful for me when it comes to really retaining the information that I learn. I have an iPad. I like to use the app Good Notes, and then I take all of my notes on that. And that way I don't have to deal with like 1,000 notebooks. All of my notes are all in one place, and I only have to take that one iPad to every single class. And I always find that whenever I write things down, I always remember them better. So taking my own notes and not typing my notes really helps me retain information, and then I can look back at those notes when I go to study for tests. That's on to my next point, is actually studying for tests. That's how you do well on exams. Like, just really schedule your day and plan that study time before tests. And as a part of planning in that study time for tests, I find that having a planner, whether it's on my phone, on a physical planner, is so beneficial. And I actually like to plan my day out by the hour. And I understand that that might seem just like a little bit extreme, but it just helps me make sure that I'm staying on task, make sure that I'm showing up for myself, and I don't lose track of time or anything, because I can always check my planner and I know, okay, I have this class from this time to this time, and then right after that class, I'm gonna go study, and so forth. Really just making sure that I'm going to class, taking my notes, studying in advance for tests, and planning out my days so I make the most of my time is so beneficial when it comes to school. Another way that I really prioritize balance and like putting school first is making sure that I don't procrastinate my homework. The second something is assigned, I do it as soon as it appears on, I have Canvas. I don't know if any of you guys use Canvas or your school use Canvas, but as soon as I see that assignment pop up, I do it to the best of my abilities, because then again, it's not something that I have to stress about later in the week or as the due date comes up. And that's also just how you produce your best work, because if you give yourself more time to do something, you're going to be less stressed, you're going to have clearer thoughts, and you're going to get it done in a chill manner. And then this kind of rolls into the balance aspect of school fitness, and life. I always try to do all of my homework and studying on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, because at least where I go to school, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then of course Sunday is more of like a chill day, but those 3 days are the days where everyone goes out at night, everyone likes to go to parties and have fun, and I obviously don't want to miss out on that. But I also want to be on top of my schoolwork, so I always try to make sure that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are like super productive. I'm super locked in, really getting things done, and then that way Thursday and so on can be kind of more of like a chill day where I can kind of do what I want, go out if I want, go to the beach, whatever it may be. So that's kind of how I handle school. And then rolling into fitness, it is so possible to do it all. Guys, if you're in high school right now, I get it. You don't have the privilege of picking your schedule. My school used to start at 7:30, and I would wake up at 4:30 a.m. every day to get to the gym by 5 a.m. I would work out from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., and then I would make it to school by 7:30. It's so easy to tell ourselves, I'm too busy, I go to school, then I have work, then I have to do homework, and I never have time to work out. Blah, 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 blah. There is time if you make time. You don't need a gym. You can do home workouts on YouTube. You could just do even like a 10-minute ab workout on your floor in your room before you go to school. That's better than nothing. You can make time for what matters. So that would be my biggest tip when it comes to balancing everything, is getting your workout in the morning is so beneficial. And also it just starts your day with dedicated you time, because at least for me, I hate starting my day with school first thing, because then I'm kind of letting someone else determine how my day goes. If I have a test or a really hard lesson, or maybe my teacher's in a bad mood and that puts me in a bad mood. When you wake up and you get to do something that benefits you and just spend time with yourself in your mind, working on your own body, that is just gonna set your day up for success. It's gonna put you in a better mood. You're gonna feel more energized, and you're just gonna feel like a better version of yourself. So biggest tip, get it out of the way in the morning, because then also nothing can get in the way of your workout. I know for me, when I try to work out in the evenings, which I really try to avoid doing, things always come up, and those are usually things that I don't want to miss. So for example, I went to the gym this morning, but what happens if I was like, oh, I'll just work out after class? Then I go to class, I'm like, okay, I should probably go to the gym right now, and then my friend is like, hey, do you want to go to the beach? Like, I'm gonna want to go to the beach, and I don't want to miss out on making those memories with my friend, so I would probably go to the beach instead of going to the gym. And this could be applied for anything. Maybe your friend wants to get food, etc. You don't want to miss out on things, so you go to them, and you kind of tend to cast your fitness goals to the side, which is why you should work out in the morning, because no one is going to be asking you to go to the beach at 6 a.m. No one is going to be asking you to get food at 6 a.m. You can wake up, focus on your goals, go to school, and then you have your whole rest of your day to do whatever you want. So I always say go in the morning, because then you're just making time for what matters. Which again, I just really want to emphasize, there are 24 hours in a day. And yeah, we're asleep for like 8 of them, but there's so much time on your hands. Sometimes I'll like look at my screen time and I was like, oh my God, I was on TikTok for 2 hours. Like, what was I doing with that time? I was probably just scrolling my brain away when I could have been in the gym. I could have been with my friends. Who knows? Like, you have so much more time than you think you do. So make time for what matters and put that first. Along with that, if you're gonna wake up earlier to go to the gym, you have to go to sleep earlier. So I really try to make sure that Monday through Wednesday, I don't have class on Friday, so it's kind of hard, but in high school, I made sure that Monday through Friday, I was really locked in. I would literally go to sleep every night at 9 p.m. so that I could wake up at 4:30 or 5 a.m. and then I could go to the gym. Because if you're staying up late, there's no way that you're going to wake up earlier to go to the gym, because you're going to be exhausted. And I'm not trying to promote sleep deprivation here, okay? You guys, like, you need your sleep, but plan in advance. Go to sleep early so you can wake up early. Simple as that. Going to sleep earlier, waking up earlier, hitting the gym before you really start your day, it's just going to make you feel better. It's going to help you hit your goals. It's going to help you stay consistent. And I get it. If you're not a morning person, it can be so hard, but literally just start waking up 30 minutes earlier. Do that for a week. Now make it an hour earlier. Do that for a week, and you're going to find so much more time on your hands. So that's like my biggest tip. Get it out of the way in the morning. The other thing about fitness, and this is kind of starting to move into the social life aspect of living a balanced life, is that fitness should be a part of your lifestyle. It should not control your lifestyle. You should not be missing out on important life memories for the gym. You should not be missing out on yummy meals because of your fitness goals. It's all about balance, and fitness is supposed to add to your life and work into your lifestyle, not control it. So again, that's why I always like to do it in the morning, because then I'm not missing out on anything important later in the day. And that's why I always say consistency over perfection. It's okay to skip a workout if you stayed up late bonding with your roommates in college, bonding with your friends, you were at a concert, whatever it may be. It's okay to skip a workout if you needed the extra sleep, if you get sick, if you just really, really aren't feeling it, because sometimes you need that extra rest to come back stronger and more motivated. So again, it's all about having fitness work into your lifestyle and add to your life. If it's not going to add to your life that day, it's okay to not do it. Just make sure that you're being really honest with yourself and that you're not confusing extra rest being needed versus wanted. Because if you're just feeling lazy, go to the gym. But if you stayed up late, bonding with your friends, your family, sharing drinks, getting yummy food, whatever it may be, that's needed. Because I always say memories over macros. I'm actually kind of going to add like a little another portion, which is like the whole food thing of balance, because I'm someone who follows, I would say the 85-15 rule is what I've found to be good for me. Like, don't get me wrong, last night I went out, I had 7-Eleven pizza and chocolate for dinner. Was that the best option for my fitness goals? Probably not. Was it delicious? Absolutely. Do I regret it? Not at all. So it's all about balance, and it's all kind of about weighing your goals and priorities and what you want more in the moment and what you think is going to add to your life the most. On a daily basis, I would say typically I try to be on the healthier side, focusing on whole foods, hitting my protein goal, and being more disciplined with my choices, because I know that feeling strong, having good effective workouts, and feeling confident in my body adds more to my life than a random burrito that I was craving or a piece of cake. But if it's my birthday or someone who I love's birthday, or it's just like a fun night out with friends and we're all craving pizza, that's not something that I want to miss out on in life, because you only get to do high school once, you only get to do college once, you only get to do life once. So if the food really adds to the memory, eat it, enjoy it, don't regret it. But if it's just like a random craving, then that's when I would personally choose to be more disciplined or find a food swap, because I'm not trying to promote restriction here in any way, shape, or form. But realistically, if you have certain fitness goals that you want to hit, sometimes you have to say no to yourself. Sometimes you have to choose discipline, which again, that's what I think balance is all about. It's about saying no sometimes, and it's about saying yes sometimes, and then it's about finding when you should say yes and no and when that works for you. So that's kind of how I approach food, and I always make sure never to regret anything that I choose in life when it comes to food, homework, skipping class, going to class, my social life, fitness, whatever, because I actually heard this quote: everything is either a blessing or a lesson. You're either going to feel super happy that you made this decision and you're going to feel super proud of yourself and you're going to be like, wow, I showed up for myself, I went to the gym, I chose the healthier option here, I'm so proud of myself. Or you're going to get a lesson from it of, wow, that really didn't make me feel my best. Going forward, I know that maybe the third pizza slice is too much for me. I should stick to 1 or 2. And either way, whether you feel like your choice is a blessing or a lesson, it added to your life in some way. Like, it taught you something, it gave you something, it gave you a memory. Like, nothing here is bad. It's all about realizing your goals, deciding your priorities, and then evaluating the situation that you're in and deciding what should get more importance at that time. So I hope that made sense. Now I want to switch over to the social life aspect. This is especially for my girls in college, but I know it can be hard in high school too. And then also, of course, anyone who's an adult right now, post-grad, like balancing a social life is hard. I go to a school where it is literally normal to go out on a Tuesday, and people go out straight from Tuesday to Saturday. I'm not really gonna clarify what I mean by going out, but I think we all know what I mean. At least for me, I know that when I go out, I tend to stay up later. I tend to not make the best choices when it comes to my fitness goals and my nutrition. I'm always super hungry late at night, and I always end up like midnight snacking, devouring something. Like, I'm always 10 times hungrier whenever I go out. And that's okay. That's like totally normal. So for me, I don't wanna miss out on fun memories going out. That is such an important part of college, I think, at least for me, and I think so many friendships can be made that way, but I also don't want that to be the base of my friendships. So to me, it was really important to realize that I can go out any night. if I choose to stay in, I'm not missing out on anything because that same thing will happen next weekend and next weekend and next weekend. So first, never act out of FOMO. That's been a big thing for me in college because FOMO stands for the fear of missing out. If you would rather be in bed doing a face mask and watching a movie, you're not missing out on anything because you would rather be doing that. So that's the first thing when it comes to a balance, is just realizing, like, what do I want to do right now? What sounds good to me? Don't listen to peer pressure. Don't feel like you have to go out if you don't want to. Do what feels good to you. When it comes to going out, I try to limit going out to 1 to 2 times a week because I think personally going out 4 to 5 times a week is excessive. It just doesn't really line up with my goals. I want to get enough sleep. I want to wake up early and go to the gym. I want to wake up feeling my best, and I want to make the best choices for my body. And I know that when I go out, that doesn't always happen. And again, it's part of life, it's part of college, but I think it's about finding that balance and limiting yourself so that you can make the smarter choices for your goals. So just for me, and what I've found to work for me in college is sticking to that 1 to 2 times a week. That being said, I'm filming this in Halloween weekend. Also ignore this box. But yeah, this is like Halloween weekend. So I went out on Wednesday night. I'm going out tonight. I'm going out Friday and Saturday. And that's not usual for me, but I'm still doing it because it's all about balance. And again, you only live once. So I really just don't think that your fitness goals should take over your life. They should work into your life. And for me, it's okay not to have the most productive, perfect weekends when you're just having fun, creating memories with your friends. So that's kind of how I approach going out. And then when it comes to just like having a social life, again, going back to the whole food thing, because I think that's like a really big aspect of having a social life. A lot of people will be like, oh, let's go get coffee, let's go get ice cream, let's go out to dinner, XYZ. Always go, and then have that discipline to know when you should choose maybe the healthier option that supports your fitness goals or not to. So for example, if my friends were like, oh my gosh, let's just like go out to dinner, I would probably try to find the option that has the most amount of protein and that's going to benefit my fitness goals the most. But if it was my friend's birthday dinner and they order cake, obviously I'm going to eat the cake. So that's kind of my mindset about like social things, is if it's like a significant celebration or something that's just like, I don't know, the food really like adds to that moment, I'm obviously gonna have it because I would never want to miss out on life and my friends and these moments to look a certain way. I always think when I'm 90 and old and wrinkly, am I really gonna look back at my teenage years and my 20s and be like, wow, I wish I didn't eat that piece of cake, like, wow, I was a little bit bloated the next day? Hell no. I'm literally gonna be like, I am so grateful that I got to celebrate all of those birthdays with my friends and enjoy these moments with my friends. I never prioritize looking a certain way over memories, hence memories over macros. But that being said, if the food doesn't add to my fitness goals and it also doesn't add to the memories, then I typically will say no and I will choose something that will benefit my body more and benefit my fitness goals more. So always go and be social, but you don't have to overindulge every time that you're social. And the same thing goes for going out. Like, you can go out and choose not to drink certain beverages. You can go out and choose not to eat certain foods. You can go out and still support your fitness goals and still make friends and have those memories. Once I realized that food and fun and memories are very separate things, that made making decisions a lot easier, because eating this food does not mean that I'm having this amount of fun, or drinking this beverage does not mean I'm having this amount of fun. Like, I can make my own fun with my friends without doing that. So again, it's all about a balance. It's all about choosing when you want to go all in, be super social, do whatever, not prioritize your fitness goals. And then it's also about knowing when you want to prioritize your fitness goals, saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to order a salad instead of sharing a pizza with you, but let's still go out to lunch. So that's kind of how I handle going out, the social aspect when it comes to food and my friends. And again, I hope that makes sense. I'm trying my best here to kind of word this in the most understandable way that kind of can apply to everybody, because I know it's hard. Everyone's in different phases of life right now, watching this in maybe high school, college, post-grad, adults, who knows. So I'm trying to apply this to everything, but that's kind of how I approach balance. And then in the grand scheme of things, school comes first, then my fitness goals, going to the gym, whatever, and my social life. It's okay not to be social every single day, for me at least. if I went to the gym, chased my fitness goals, and prioritized school. Like, it's okay. But the way that I like to schedule my day is I'll wake up around like 7 a.m., I'll go to the gym, then I'll go to class, then I'll come home, I'll do all my homework, I'll do all of my studying, and then I try to be done with like homework and work around 6 p.m. And then from like 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. is my more social hour. And that would be like a typical day, like within the school week. And remember, I'm in college, so if I go to sleep around 11 or 12 and I wake up at 7, that's still like my 7 to 8 hours, which is enough for me. So that's kind of how I structure my day and like put my priorities first and then my social life. Because again, the weekends, I don't have class, so I can wake up, go to the gym. I'll still do homework and work if I have to. And then the weekends are when I know I can be like super, super social. I hope that helped. I hope that you know it's possible to do it all. And I know I didn't really touch on the work aspect so much of the balance, because I know that to anyone working a 9 to 5, or whether you're in the food industry, clothes industry, whatever, it can be really hard. And I'm someone who is lucky enough and grateful to be able to do content creation full time, which gives me a lot of flexibility in my schedule and frees up a pretty big portion of my time. Which, don't get me wrong, like editing a YouTube video for me at least takes 2 to 4 hours, and then there's also the filming and all the behind the scenes stuff, answering emails. So it's not that I don't work, but I do have a lot more control over when I do my work, and it kind of just filters into my homework and study time. So I'm super, super grateful for that. And I'm not trying to sound like, oh, I know better than you, I blah blah blah, because I understand that people have way more vigorous jobs that are more structured and take up bigger portions of your day. But the root of this video is to motivate you to make time for what matters, to establish your priorities, and realize that you have enough time in your day to put them first if you plan in advance, prepare, and set certain restrictions for yourself, as in knowing when you shouldn't go out, knowing when you should go out, knowing when you should prioritize school and your fitness journey versus prioritizing your social life, and knowing that they all go hand in hand together, they all work into your life, and they can all be achieved with a balance of knowing when to say yes, when to say no, when to give what priority. It's possible. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope that helped. That's how I like to approach balancing my school and work, as well as my fitness goals, my food choices, going to the gym, and having a social life. It's a journey. Don't rush it. Finding balance is so hard. I have been on my fitness journey for 4 years, and I'm still not perfect at finding balance. Sometimes there are days where I feel like I overindulged, or there's days where I feel like I stayed up too late, or there's days where I didn't focus on my priorities and fitness goals enough. And it's okay, because going back to that whole blessing lesson situation, every mistake that you make, every action that you do, you can always learn something from it and look in the future and alter your future based off of that lesson. So if you are trying to be balanced and you realize that maybe you were a little bit unbalanced, don't be hard on yourself. Just realize that that was showing you how you can be better balanced in the future. So with that, I love you guys so much. Remember to do something good for yourself today. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself grace. I love you guys so much. Life is a journey, and we're in it together. I'll see you in the next one. Like and subscribe. Follow my other social media platforms. I post every single day. I have Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. And with that, I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one.